Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn about amortization table. We will learn about what is amortization table, and then using IPMT and PPMT function in Excel, we will see and make an amortization table. So the flow of this tutorial is, first we will learn about what is amortization, and then we will go to Excel, and then we will calculate EMI using PMT function, and then we will use IPMT and PPMT to build an amortization table and format and finalize the table. So what is an amortization table? First, a schedule that breaks down the each equated monthly installment into interest and principal both. EMI is equal to principal repayment and interest payment. So basically, every month, once we take a loan and when we pay back EMI, we pay principal repayment and interest payment in that EMI components. And we will also shows an outstanding balance after each payment. So once the payment is made and we have also paid the principal in that EMI, we also get the outstanding balance at the end of each month after that payment of EMI. And it also helps understand how loans get repaid over time. So the key component is EMI, fixed monthly payment, and EMI basically means equated monthly installment, interest component which is higher in the early years, and principal component which is higher in the later years. Outstanding loan balance. So Excel function, we have two functions, IPMT and PPMT, which helps us in breaking down the interest component and the principal component for each EMI. So EMI is calculated using PMT, and IPMT portion is calculated, the interest portion is calculated using the IPMT function, and the principal repayment portion is calculated using PPMT function. So now we will go to the Excel and use the following example where we will take a loan amount of home loan of around 50 lakh rupees and a rate of interest of 7.5% and a duration of 25 years. So a loan amount is 50 lakh rupees, duration is 25 years, and an annual interest rate of 7.5%. The number of payment is 300. So how 300 came? Basically, 25 years loan and into 12 months in a year. So 300 number of months. The monthly interest rate is the annual interest rate divided by 12. And if we want to calculate the monthly payment EMI, so remember we talked about in the presentation that we will use PMT function. So it's asked for the rate. Rate we will use as the monthly interest rate, and the NPR, number of periods. We have 300 number of periods. The present value, which is our loan amount, and we get our monthly payment EMI, which we will be paying over the 300 months or 25 years. Now to make an amortization table. So remember that in presentation we talked about EMI is equal to interest paid, which will be uh, calculated using the IPMT function, and the principal repaid, which will be calculated using PPMT function. So our outstanding principal at the at the beginning of the period when we took the loan is 50 lakh, and the number of months for which we have took the loan is, we will use the sequence function, and 25 years we took the loan for, and 12 months in a year. So 300 number of payments we will do. Now to calculate the PMT function. So we have basically calculated the PMT function here, but for the sake of simplicity and for the understanding of this amortization table, we will be also calculating the PMT function here or the EMI component here. So we will use equal to PMT. Interest rate is monthly interest, and we will freeze this cell. Then number of payment 300. Again we will freeze this cell. The present value of the loan 50 lakh, freeze this cell, and we get this EMI component similar to the EMI component we have calculated here. So what we'll do is 300 number of periods, we just drag this EMI component and we get to know that EMI remains same for each month. Now to calculate the IPMT or the interest uh, portion of that EMI, so we will use IPMT. And remember, interest is calculated using the simple interest formula P into R into T. So P is principal, R is rate, and T is time. This uh, this calculation or this explanation I have given in the previous video as well. So rate will be monthly interest rate. We will freeze this cell, and it asks for period. Period is for the month which we are paying the interest for, the portion of interest we are paying for that EMI. So month uh, period is one first month, and the number of period is number of months we will be paying this EMI is 300. So we will freeze this cell, and the present value at the beginning of the time when we took the loan is 50 lakh. So if we close this, we get to know that out of 36,950 rupees we are paying 31,250 rupees as interest. And to know about the principal portion, we can simply like PMT minus IPMT or EMI minus the interest portion, we get the principal portion. But we are using and learning about the PMT function. So rate, monthly interest rate, we will freeze this cell. Period is first month, and number of period is 300 months, and the loan amount is 50 lakh rupees. So we get to know that out of 36,950, this is our interest portion and this is our principal portion. So now what is our outstanding principal at the end of the first month? So the 50 lakh rupees minus the principal which we have repaid. So we get to know that this is our the outstanding principal at the end of first month. Now we can copy this formula. Hmm, so I have to freeze the present value as well, and here also I have to freeze the present value as well. So if I copy this formula, then I get to know that my principal, my EMI portion remains the same, but the interest portion is lesser than the previous month, and the principal portion which we have repaid is more than the previous month. And of course, our outstanding principal gets lower as we pay principal. So to make the calculation easier, we can just drag this formula by Control C and going to the last payment of 300 month, and just copying Control V. So now what I'll do is I'll freeze this cell, And we can see as we go ahead for the EMI payment we have made, the interest portion is getting lower and the principal repaid portion is getting higher. And of course, our outstanding principal is getting lower and lower as we go further in the months. By the time we reach 300 month, we see that interest component or the interest portion is negligible, and the big chunk is of principal portion. And of course, our outstanding principal is nil. So let me know how you find this video tutorial, and if you have any further topics that you want a video upon, let me know in the comment section. And if you have any doubt, you can reach out to me on my number, and I'll try to reply you as soon as possible. Thank you.